Following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Last time I saw Dale Ann Bradley, it was at a tribute show in memoriam of Earl Thomas Conley. And we had everybody. We had Luke Bryan and we had Blake Shelton. And I mean, everybody was there. Just everybody was there. And the standing ovation of the night, of the day, actually, Dale Ann Bradley walked out there with her band and they did an a cappella song, and everybody just, it's like tingles. Everybody just jumped to their feet and gave a standing ovation because she is the best. Dale Ann Bradley, how are you, sister?
Honey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so good. And you got a brand new Pine Castle record that is out.
I do. Been out since February, I think the 5th. And I just, it was one of those COVID albums that we were in the house. So we started writing and listening to songs. And so I hope everybody's enjoying it.
You know what? You are so good. And let's give a shout out to Pine Castle, because Pine Castle is a label that preserves bluegrass, and God bless them, because they do it with such integrity.
Integrity, that's the word right there. This has been a wonderful experience working with Pine Castle, and I look forward to much more time. Knock on my table. To be able to work with them. I've so enjoyed this time.
Well, we love what you do, Dale. And tell us a little bit about what the summer is. We're getting into festival season. Are you going to get to do some festivals?
Well, we did. We just finished up at Silver Dollar City.
It's one of my favorite places.
Oh, and we had a great time. The crowds were great, and everything was just. It was like old times, but when I walked out on stage, I learned you don't take it for granted, though. I mean, don't enjoy every minute of it,
Have you noticed how different people are listening to music now that they've had it taken away?
I think so. And I think the subject matters and the content of the song may be more important than it's been in years. That was true during the Depression times. Music was like water to people, and then in the 60s too, turbulent times makes you hopefully makes us stop and listen a little, a little more closely to the words and what they mean.
Amen. Have you had people? I don't know. It's been very emotional as I see people get back on stage. Their fans are emotional, and it's an interesting feeling when you get out there and they feel like you're just like water to a person who's starving.
Right. That's the way I felt this past weekend from the stage on our side and from the audience. And I just did not realize. I knew I missed everything, but don't know how much till we, the sets were over and the folks were coming up, and I just grabbed a person and hugged them and started crying. And I don't know, I didn't even know that person.
That is definitely what happens. I mean, we get so caught up in the moment. Well, let me tell people about this album that's been out since February, but I always say because of COVID, not everybody knows. So everything's new for everybody. People have been in a fog. So tell people about this new album.
That's so true. This album started right as everything began to shut down, and as the year progressed and we saw more things happening, that were distressing actually. And then some good things too. You saw a lot of people getting out there and going beyond the call to help somebody. So you saw both sides of it. That kind of sparked the whole collection, I think. This album started with the title cut, Things She Couldn't Get Over. And that was,
Wow.
Even though it was something I had remembered from my high school years, the older I've gotten and the more I've traveled and seen a lot of things, it's a worldwide, problem, or what the song talks about, needs to be dealt with. So then, came another idea and another song, and went through several and tried to write some. I've got some that I didn't finish for this one, but I've learned that songs do that, if don't push them, because if there's usually a message that needs to come out if you just kind of, take care of it and just let it sit till it's ready, But this album too, I used my touring band on this album and with some guests. Ethan Burkhart was on bass. He's the CEO of Pine Castle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's in the band. And of course, I've got what I call the Prince of Dobro. That's Matt Ledbetter. He's got famous ancestors, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kim Fox is playing guitar and singing all the pretty harmony on the album and on stage. And it's such a joy to work with her. Mike Sumner is on banjo, and I've always thought that we connected spiritually and musically. You meet people like that they hear the notes the way you do, and that's a blessing when that happens. Then we had guests on the album. We had Ronnie Bowman came in and sang some. Yeah, how can you go wrong there?
You can't.
You can't. I know Michael Cleveland put all the fiddle on, and then Aaron Biebelhauser co-wrote some stuff with me and put some harmony on. So everybody gave everything they had, I think, to this album, because it's our album. The band and myself. It's not just about me, thank heavens.
Oh, girl. I mean, it is so fantastic. And the harmonies are so tight and so beautiful. And there are people who don't know bluegrass that I know were sitting in that audience at the Country Music Hall of Fame when you guys went out. And it's something that is so pure. When y'all sing it, it's so pure that people respond from somewhere inside that they don't even, what is this? I don't even know what this is.
Well, bless your heart. That will be right up there with the top of my memories. I'll tell you, I knew where I was at and I was so nervous, but it's good to get nervous. And I was so proud of the band and everything, and thankful for the reception that we got. That was sweet and precious.
It was.
And I got to
It
see
was.
some people I wasn't going to get to see otherwise.
Oh, I know. Neil McCoy was there, and John
Yeah.
Anderson was there, and just a host of wonderful stars. But I laughed because Bill Cody and I co-hosted, and Cody looked over at me, and y'all were walking out. He said, "Something's about to happen." I said, "Yeah, something's about to happen," because we knew. Bill and I knew.
Sweet.
We knew something's going to happen. Well, something's going to happen now because we're going to say goodbye to you by playing your brand new video. Is that okay?
Oh, honey, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you and everybody listening, and God bless y'all.
Oh, talk to you soon. Love you.
Thank you, honey. Love you, sweetie. Bye-bye, honey.
Bye.
It won't matter about your political views. It won't matter where you sit on the pew. Won't make a difference how much you knew. When it comes down to the end. And it won't matter what kind of car you drove. And it won't matter where you lived on the road. Did you do your best? Did you love your most? That's what matters in the end. 'Cause in the end there's no rewind. There's no turning back the time. When you leave this world behind, will they say you were their friend? That's what matters in the end. It won't matter how many candles lit your cake. And it won't matter if sometimes you slept in late. But if your love didn't overcome your hate, well, that's what matters in the end. 'Cause in the end there's no rewind. There's no turning back the time. When you leave this world behind, will they say you were their friend? That's what matters in the end. 'Cause in the end there's no rewind. There's no turning back the time. When you leave this world behind, will they say you were their friend? Well, that's what matters in the end.
My name is James Tyler Bowman. I'm the CEO of Brooks Healing Center. I'm approaching 7 years in recovery. Personally, addiction was a constant struggle for me for around 10 or 11 years. What motivated me to start Brooks Healing Center was really a frustration in seeing the gap in client care. You know, when I got sober, a group of guys gave me a hug and asked me if I loved myself, and Yeah, I didn't really love myself too much, and when I say that, I don't mean in an egotistical way. I just had a lot of shame, guilt, and things that were underlying from my childhood that I never really dealt with. And they gave me a hug and said, well, we're going to love you until you can love yourself. What motivates me to show up every day is when I watch somebody changing, and they go from that depressed state to feeling like they have hope, because I really know, I know what that feels like. So and I'm sorry to get emotional, but it's really hard when you feel like there's no reason left to live because you don't know how to deal with your own emotions. And so essentially what I hope is that they can gain strength in that, and seeing them grow. I feel like that's why I'm still here, right? To share my experience, to let people know that life is beautiful and that it's just based on perception and how you look at it and the people you surround yourself with. And it's also your mentality. It's a thinking problem that we have, and we have to learn how to combat it.
Is making you forget the 2 years and 20 weeks. I'm finally saying goodbye. Then I see those guys over there. Oh, I can't help but stare and seeing all the fish in the sea. Yeah. Would you pick my rose when it's something wrong? Would you put a little book in my wrong? Either way, I'm getting better without you, yeah. Gonna put my red sunglasses on, yeah. Gonna put a little bit of coke in my rum. The road has been calling my name. Oh, get on my if I stay, 'cause I got the blue sky to blame. You be the blues, be the way that sounds to me on you. You guys.
More than a year later, there are still reminders of the deadly tornado that tore apart sections of North Nashville in March of 2020. That's why Project Connect is coordinating community outreach days in this area.
And so what we're doing today is we got a whole crew of volunteers out here to serve the community through cleaning up out in the neighborhood. And then also helping us do construction on this house that's going to become our long-term home here in the North Nashville neighborhood.
Zach Bevel is the Operations and Programming Director at Project Connect Nashville. This faith-based organization relies on volunteers who are all about being the hands and feet of Jesus to a hurting community.
We have educational classes that are taught by volunteers. So we have workforce development classes, financial education classes, trauma healing classes. Those are led by volunteers who've been trained, but we also have allies in those classes. And what they do is they sit in class alongside of our students and build helpful and hopeful relationships with them.
One of those volunteers is Nashville First Baptist Church member Kathy Wilcox. Today, she and Ruby are handing out donuts, but she's been an ally in their work-life classes. They just recently had a graduation ceremony for those who've completed the 6-week course.
I actually get to sit in and go through the class with them, and I love it because it is such a practical, simple, basic how to get a job, and it's all based on our relationship with God and strengthening our relationship with others, but with God first.
So volunteer opportunities range from being an ally, a teacher, or someone who can lend a hand cleaning up, painting, or in some cases, moving furniture. For Cassandra Porter, who's now on staff with Project Connect, she says she's not sure where she'd be today if she hadn't found Jesus and this organization.
I like to let people know that I did start out as a client and that I just did what I was asked to do. Just trust us. We want to work with you. We want to serve you. We want you to know who Christ is. If you don't know who he is, we want you to know who he is. We want you to know that he loves you. There's nothing that you have done that is not forgivable, unforgivable. God will forgive you no matter what.
Hey guys, you like some lunch?
After hours of painting and picking up debris, the volunteers and those who live in this community get fed lunch. It turns into an old-fashioned dinner on the ground as the volunteers and the residents get a chance to share a meal and connect. For more information on how you can join other Nashville First volunteers at Project Connect, go to their website, projectconnectnashville.org.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Rob Mays here. I want to let you know I'm going to be playing at the Nashville Palace on January 25th in support of the Project K9 Hero first annual benefit concert. You can get your tickets at projectk9hero.org. And trust me, you're going to want to. It's going to be a great evening. This is an amazing charity. They support retired service dogs, military dogs, police dogs, and take care of them in an absolutely unbelievable way, no matter what they're dealing with, no matter what their ailments are. They got cancer, joint issues, whatever it is, Jason's taking care of them. So amazing charity organization, and it's gonna be a great night. Nashville, Tennessee, everybody. Nashville Palace, January 25th. Get your tickets. Daryl Worley, myself, William Michael Morgan. It's gonna be a good time, man. Come on by.
Never learned how to crawl, but I learned how to walk, and I taught myself how to run. Been moving so fast, outrunning the past, can only do that for so long. But I still got the fire, I'm a midnight flyer. If there's one thing that I know, I didn't do this on my own. No, I didn't do this on my own. Stood on a lot of shoulders, and I kept the woes at bay. Each time I heard no, I went and done it anyway. Stood to my guns when there's been hell to pay. Oh, I didn't do this on my own. No, I didn't do this on my own. Well, I burned a lot of bridges and I crossed more lines than anyone that I know. And I paid my dues and I planted them seeds, and I'm reaping now what I sowed. And I didn't do this on my own. No, I didn't do this on my own. I stood on a lot of shoulders, and I kept the wolves at bay. Each time I heard no, I went and done it anyway. Stuck to my guns when there's been hell to pay. Oh, I didn't do this on my own. No, I didn't do this on my own. I stood on a lot of shoulders, and I kept the wolves at bay. Each time I heard no, I went and done it anyway. Stuck to my guns when there's been hell to pay. Oh, I didn't do this on my own. No, I didn't do this on my own. No, I didn't do this on my own. Yeah! Nice.
Hey, you know how much I love you, right?
Yeah.
And how I always, treasure the time I have with you.
Yeah.
Now you're my world. I got my last name changed. I'm now George Grimway Musto. Look at my jersey.
At center, number 75, Brandon Loftus.
you so much, Dad.
Oh, God, I love you.
I love you.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Nothing like the sunrise with your coffee in the morning, or taking a good book off the shelf. Another thing I love the most than being on my own is together with everybody else. Together, like a silent Sunday summer. Together, on my front porch